Christine's out on book tour, Janelle's making merch a source of power, and Meri's telling jokes that hurt just so. But Kody? He's struggling to regain the limelight and nobody is hearing him. What actually went down after the Sister Wives' exit? And why is it hurting so much for viewers who've been with us from the start? You won't believe where this story goes from here, watch now. It didn't all come crashing down at the same time. That's what everyone always seems to miss. On the surface, it may seem like Christine suddenly went crazy, like Meri suddenly gained voice, or Janelle simply packed up and drove away in silence, but the reality was, it never came down to one epic moment. It was the 1,000 little ones, the dismissed looks, the weighing silences, the manner in which their stories were ever told by somebody else's lips. And for years they went along, because that's what good wives did, good mothers, good women, until one day, they didn't. Now, even as the cameras continue to roll and the headlines continue to stalk Cody Brown's latest tantrum, something much more significant has been taking place behind the scenes, something silent but irresistible. These women? They're not merely leaving, they're becoming. And for the first time, in a very long time, they're not merely surviving the effects of plural marriage, they're flourishing in its absence. But what actually transpired with Cody Brown's life once the cameras were extinguished and the wives departed? What transpired with the man who constructed his entire life and public persona around the notion that he was the one keeping it together? And perhaps more importantly, what if those individuals who used to revolve around him discover that they sparkle just as well by themselves? If you've ever lingered too long in a situation that no longer suited you, if you've ever attempted to hold a family together with your bare hands and feel invisible the entire time, or if you've ever wondered what would happen if you finally released your grip, this book, it's going to ring a bell. Because Christine, Meri, and Janelle aren't characters on a television show anymore. They're women in transition, women relearning how to breathe, women taking heartbreak and making something authentic and, occasionally, even beautiful out of it. And perhaps that's why everyone is watching this happen so intently. Because hidden beneath the rumor and behind the Instagram face, there's an absolute truth here, a softer one. That's sometimes the most courageous thing a woman can do, is leave the story she didn't tell. Christine was always the shining one, wasn't she? The sunny disposition who attempted to maintain the harmony even when it took everything from her. But now, she's holding a book in one hand and a boarding ticket in the other. And with every location on her tour, every city she goes to, she's not only telling her tale, she's rewriting her conclusion. And then there's Janelle, always steady, always rational, always overlooked. Turns out, she didn't require Cody's approval to create something anew. She only required space to grow. And now she's selling out merchandise, brainstorming a family farm, and making her own voice into a brand. And Meri, poor Meri, the one we all watched sit quietly next to Kody while he made promises to someone else. She's no longer waiting. She's giggling with her friends, telling jokes that have fans in stitches, and perhaps preparing to unload some secrets of her own. The three of them as a package? Well, just let's say, the show may still be titled Sister Wives, but the drama isn't about Kody anymore, and perhaps that's the most difficult for him to accept. What do you do when the spotlight shifts away from you? When the folks you used to call part of your legacy begin to build legacies of their own? If you're Cody Brown, you request your own special. Just you. Just your version. One final try at being heard. But what if no one's actually listening? As the women rise, Cody's left making calls producers don't want to receive, selling redemption narratives no one's soliciting, and clinging to a narrative that no longer serves the moment. Because here's the uncomfortable reality no one ever says out loud. The Sister Wives story was never strictly about polygamy. It was about women fighting to make space for themselves in a life that was never constructed for them. And now, they're finally walking out of the picture. Together. There's something quietly subversive about watching a woman choose not to apologize. Stop shrinking. Stop waiting to be picked, especially when that woman has already given decades to someone who needed her to keep quiet. And while Kody may still think he's the star of this show, the rest of us can see it in plain sight. The women are the actual show now, and what they're creating? It's not entertainment. It's a lesson, a mirror, a reckoning. So how did it all happen? How does the man who was once regarded as family head end up outside, observing his ex-wives walk into the lives they always had coming to them? And then what happens next when Christine's book lands on the stores, when Meri and Jen potentially go public with a new venture, and when Janelle's fans continue to ask questions nobody's giving answers to yet? Well, that's what we're diving into today. Because this isn't just another recap. It's the story of three women who finally said, "It's fine for the last time." And what came after? That's the part no one expected. Let's begin. But here's the thing. The OG3 don't need to fight. They've already won by not playing the game. They didn't require a sensational reunion couch or a TLC billboard. Their private moments, little fill-ins, unedited posts, photos of genuine happiness, that's what pierced the heart. Because when peace is the news, silence is a loud message. Followers couldn't get enough when Janelle posted a photo of enjoying tea in her PJs by 5 p.m. Meri's sassy live streams with Jen, fan favorites the moment they aired. And Christine's vacation pics weren't only pretty, they were declarations. Assistant, I'm done. I'm free. I'm finally me. Sources say this quiet, unspoken digital sisterhood is what's got Kody spiraling hardest. No podcast, no expose, no need to say his name, yet every post feels like a gentle, unstoppable rebellion. These women have figured something out, and it's brilliant. They don't have to attack Kody or besmirch his name. All they have to do is move on and let their happiness speak for itself. And trust me, they're thriving. When real love shows itself, it tends to stir up trouble. It's almost as if the world can't stand the sight of something genuine. Now, it may sound over the top, but with the Brown, drama essentially comes with the package. And Cody Brown? Oh, he was never capable of letting others shine while he took a back seat. That much was always obvious. Whether he stormed off in the middle of a conversation or ensured that he had the last word when rolling camera with Sister Wives, Kody ensured that eyes were on him. But recently, those cameras aren't so much tracking him anymore. For the first time in more than a decade, the limelight that once shone down on Kody has quietly moved on. And it's not waning, it's shining brighter than ever on three familiar names: Meri, Janelle, and Christine. These three, the OG wives, aren't so much moving on. They're thriving, and they're doing so without even a mention of Kody. That silence? It's deafening, particularly for a man who used to swagger into family gatherings like he was the king of a dynasty. And let me tell you, Kody's not handling this invisibility very well. Sources on the production maintain Kody's been quietly seething behind the scenes, angry that the story is getting away from him. His name? It's no longer trending. His quotes? No longer going viral. The program that once fueled its existence around his every mood shift now appears driven by the very women he formerly attempted to bench. And here's the surprise, they're not even attempting to usurp power. They're simply living, and audiences are enjoying it. And Kody? He's sitting idly by. Take a peek at their social media, and you'll understand. Christine is off exploring Europe and teasing chapters from her tell-all book. Janelle's running her own business and spending time with her grandbaby. Meri's cracking jokes on live streams, with her best friend turning even the awkward moments into something oddly empowering. They're launching projects, hosting giveaways, and connecting with fans without once pulling Kody into the frame. That quiet freeze-out? It's eating him alive. One source summed it up. He was the center of gravity. Now, it's like he doesn't even exist. For a guy like Kody, getting ignored could be the worst thing in the world. Getting criticized? That's still attention. But being erased entirely? That's a different sort of hurt, and one that is particularly cruel when it occurs online, in public, for all to witness. Comment sections overflow with admiration for the women. So proud of you. We love seeing you happy. This is your glow up. Kody's occasional mentions, on the other hand? Let's just say they're less than flattering. Some call it karma, others call it long overdue. Either way, Kody is no longer the story. And if you think he's going to fade away quietly, think again. He's not walking away. At least, not without attempting one final power move. Sources claim he's already pitching a solo special to the producers, something where he can finally tell his side. It turns out healing out loud is louder than any tirade. The tables have turned entirely. Once upon a time, Kody thought he was the one who made them interesting. Now, it's gut-wrenchingly obvious. He needs them to remain current. And fans, oh, they've noticed, all right. Social media isn't merely responding, it's feeding. Threads are filled with women hailing each other's triumphs, tweeting out Janelle's greatest hits, ordering Christine's tell-all in advance, and clamoring for Meri and Jen to start a podcast already. Meanwhile, Kody remains pouting in his velvet jackets. One fan summed it up so well, like they've been holding their breath for years, and now they're exhaling at last. Another added, "These women are hilarious, relatable, and healing in front of our eyes." But what did finally send Kody over the edge, insiders said, was the total erasure. These women aren't resting on his name. They're creating brands, initiating communities, and living off their own entire life. And that is apparently driving Kody crazy in private. Because when even your water bottle gets slammed in protest, you know it's personal. A producer revealed Kody actually stormed out of a meeting after finding out fans were more enthusiastic about Meri's skincare hauls than his newest opinions on polygamy. He allegedly slammed his water bottle and shouted, "This is my show." There are rumors that he later made a backhanded comment off camera, complaining that the women cut him out deliberately just to steal the spotlight. But here's the rub: he's accomplishing exactly that. The OG3 don't have to exclude him. They're simply living their own lives. And that's more than adequate to keep him out of the spotlight. Sometimes, well, living is the best revenge. Each time Christine uploads a sunrise selfie, or Meri puts up a goofy laugh with Jen, fans are made to remember who the real story always was. And that's when Kody made his next move. Gossip from within Flagstaff claims he's decided to take back control in the only way he knows how, demanding more screen time. But not just any screen time. Buckle up. Kody is demanding his own solo special. Apparently, he called TLC and proposed a whole episode comprised solely of himself. No former wife, no old drama, just Kody self-reflecting, revisiting, and, naturally, redeeming. This was his idea of how to put the bleeding to an end. Sit on a decently lit set, clear the air, and get the record straight. But here's the thing. Nobody's actually asking for Kody's truth anymore. Behind the scenes, producers weren't exactly leaping with excitement. One insider said there were eye rolls, others gave polite nods. But the energy? Let's just say, no one's begging for a Kody-only comeback. Today's audience is tuning in for Meri's dry humor, Janelle's grounded strength, and Christine's full-blown reinvention. Kody may still think it's his show, but the audience has already changed the channel. And that's where the real disconnect lies. Kody allegedly still thinks he's the epicenter. That the fame, the hype, the brandits, all thanks to him. They wouldn't be stars without me, he's alleged to have claimed. I made them famous. TLC, on the other hand, is considering the bottom line. Christine's book tour, generating big press. Janelle's merchandise, selling out regularly. Meri and Jen's live streams, generating more interaction than some actual Sister Wives footage. And if you're a network exec, the arithmetic's simple. It's no longer Kody's show. It's turning into the OG3 universe. Despite all indications of let it go, sources say Kody is still committed to doing his solo special. He's said to be kicking around titles such as Kody, Unfiltered, or The Real Patriarch. And go figure, he even proposed conducting an interview of himself if nobody else would sit down across from him. "Just let me talk uninterrupted for once," he allegedly instructed producers. And you can bet that sentence alone likely made every person in the room sit up straight. Because when someone pleads to be allowed to speak uninterrupted, it typically means they have something to spin. While Kody's out here scheming his big solo comeback, the women aren't talking it, at least not outright. But fans believe the veiled shade is already flying. Meri had just posted a quote stating, "Some people rewrite history when they can't handle the fact." Janelle, always the pragmatist, posted a serene photo of her garden with the caption, "If it's not growing, prune it back." And Christine? She had nothing to say, just twirled happily underneath the Eiffel Tower with a caption regarding gratitude and new beginnings. Who needs clapbacks when you've mastered the art of the quiet glow-up? They aren't calling Kody out, they're rising above him. And somehow, that's hitting even harder. Still, if this solo special does happen, the gloves might finally come off. Because beneath all the calm, collected smiles, these women know Kody better than anyone. They lived with him. They've seen the tantrums, the gaslighting, the deflection, and they've got the receipt. If he tries to set the record straight, they might just straighten it for him, publicly. And that brings us to one of the biggest surprises of all, Meri and Jen, the most unlikely comedy duo on Instagram and maybe the most cathartic comeback Kody never saw coming. Of all the transformations over the years, Meri's may be the one that's messing with Kody's head the most. The same woman who once sat quietly at family meeting, tearfully hoping for a shred of affection, has completely flipped the script. Meri's not asking for attention anymore, she's commanding it. Now, she's a full-blown social media wildcard. She's got a hilarious best friend, a growing fan base, and a totally unpredictable live stream where anything might happen. And here's the kicker, Kody doesn't even come up. Not accidentally, not as a footnote. It's as though he's been erased from the narrative. The woman who begged him to pick her, is now cracking eyebrow-raising jokes, remembering old bras, and improvising about suggestive stick references without blinking. It's cheeky, it's strange, it's brazen, and folks are devouring it. Meri and Jen have taken to calling themselves the Salty Birches, a moniker no one's quite sure is a brand, a joke, or both. But whatever it is, it's working. Their chemistry is undeniable. Meri's dry, sarcastic humor mixed with Jen's chaotic commentary creates a kind of joyful unpredictability that fans say they didn't know they needed. One moment they're doing product reviews, the next they're cracking up over underwear joke sands somehow. It all feels completely natural. After years of tears and tension, Meri's finally laughing, and we're laughing with her. It's not entertainment, it's therapy. And beneath all the belly laughs and innuendo, you sense something deeper changing. There's strength and happiness. And Meri? She's taking back her own live stream at a time, so take a bite of it. That's the kind of line you'll hear from Meri and Jen during one of their wacky live streams, complete with unexpected promotion of one brand of, let's just say, comfort stockings. Ladies, pamper your hoo-ha. Meri winked. Hoo-ha underwear, it's really comfy. And Jen? She seconded that message. Of course with laughter. But all that silliness may be the precursor to something much larger. Fans are beginning to speculate that the Salty Birches aren't only joking around, they're soft launching something. Because once you get beyond the giggles and innuendos, you'll find something serious simmering beneath. Meri has tales to tell, not only about Kody, but polygamy, power, and how women make it through it all. She's already dipped her toes in those waters before, like during that tearful Tamron Hall interview. And longtime devotees know, when Meri begins to reveal, it's only a matter of time before floodgates open. And Jen? She might just be the perfect co-pilot for the ride. Their banter may feel lighthearted, but loyal viewers have picked up on the subtle dig. Like when Jen said, some people don't like it when women get happy without their permission. Or Meri's cryptic line, he thought I'd stay quiet forever. Was that about Kody? Was it shade toward Robin? Or maybe both. Fans have been speculating non-stop. Some actually believe Meri and Jen are just feeling the waters out for a full-fledged podcast, particularly after statements like, y'all need a mic and a platform. And honestly, they do. Because if this couple ever fully goes unfiltered, Kody would have no idea what happened. Even if they never so much as spill Sister Wives tea, this fandom is aware of. Where the OG3 speak, the truth finds a way. We already know it's happened. Remember when Maddie's brief podcast spilled more than a few juicy Secret 7 when she wasn't trying to? Now imagine Meri and Jen, completely raw and unscripted. That possibility alone has fans abuzz. And if you think that gets Kody anxious, wait until you see this. Because while Meri's making jokes, Janelle is holding something way more serious. Janelle's got a whole new fantasy and it's planted in soil. Last September 2024, she announced the opening of Teta Farm. The buzz was all hope. A farm owned by a family, a new start, a legacy unfolding. This wasn't about plants, it was a sign. A new page, away from Kody, Flagstaff, or struggles for patriarchal authority. She framed it as a business with her daughter Madison and son-in-law Caleb. Landon, North Carolina. Event space, home building development, beautiful flower bed. It was lovely. Fans leapt in quickly. Shirts, aprons, and even Father's Day grill packs sold off the back shelf. But now, almost a year on, questions begin to be asked. Where's the farm? Where's the development? Because so far, the land hasn't yet flowered into the vision-promised dream. One of the commenters on Instagram stated, "Love you, Janelle, but what's up with the actual farm?" Another said, "Is this just a merch store? Or is the farm still in the works?" The tone remains polite so far, but anxiety is building. The initial dream wasn't simply about selling things, it was about creating something sustainable. And if the property isn't working towards something, then where did the momentum and the funding go? Janelle's remained largely mum, which only adds to speculation. But just the other day, Madison appeared on Instagram with a session to quiet the rumors. The holdups boiled down to permits and the classic combination of red tape and inclement weather. According to her, Mother Nature and government bodies aren't necessarily on a clock, she said. However, she assured fans, they're back on schedule. They're hoping to open to the public by summer 2026. Home building needs to get underway soon. But here's the thing even. As she comforted people, she acknowledged that they've only just started clearing the land. Beds are being plotted. Foundations aren't even laid yet. For some of her fans, That rings just a little too true. Seasoned Sister Wives viewers have been there before. Big dreams, glitzy rollout, but minimal follow through. The jewelry line, the fitness app, my sister wife's closet. Everyone began well and did poorly. And that's the reason for this new business to feel so tight. Because if Teta Farms continues that same cycle, then what happens to Janelle? And perhaps more importantly, where did all those initial dollars go anyway? Now, just to be clear, there is no hint of anything amiss, no lawsuits, no lost documents, no warning sign yet. But the rumors are circulating. Some followers even say they saw big PayPal payments in the initial merch sale. And when fans begin inquiring about money, particularly within this fandom, they won't let up until they find out. There's a lot of chatter now among fans, not only regarding Janelle's farm but regarding money for it. Some are guessing that prep alone for the land might have cost 6 figures. Whether or not that's the case, it's the perception that matters. Janelle has traditionally had a rock-solid, down-to-earth image, down to earth, no BS, and forthcoming. But now, for the first time in a good long time, that image is getting a bit side-eye, because even fan favorites raise questions when the numbers no longer add up. Still, one thing is certain. Janelle is a pro at monetizing Kody's mess, and her new merch line, Janelle says, is testament that she's making that transition pay for her. She might not be filming confessionals anymore, but the spotlight hasn't gone anywhere. And this time, she's cashing in. What started as a few sassy quotes from the Sister Wives days has become a full-on merch machine. Sweatshirts, t-shirts, cozy hoodies all stamped with phrases fans never forgot. Remember, I'm just not in the mood. It's on a hoodie now and it's flying off the shelves. Other top sellers include, I don't need a husband, I need peace. And naturally, the favorite, this is not what I signed up for. These aren't mottos, they're declarations worn with pride by women who felt ignored, dismissed, or underappreciated. Janelle's path from working to make it in polygamy to leaving peacefully has touched thousands of hearts. And her merch isn't just selling, it's empowering. Because sometime, revenge is a screen-printed truth bomb. Fans post selfies in their Janelle swag with messages such as, he thought I wouldn't leave, or divorced and thriving. They're not purchasing clothes. They're purchasing a little of her strength and gaining back a little of theirs too. And at the back of that relatability, a very shrewd business strategy. Each sweatshirt shipped out is a reminder again. Janelle didn't just leave, she constructed something. But of course, Kody has a very different view, and seemingly, he's not amused. Insiders claim he's enraged. It's rumored, Kody's complained behind the scenes that he thought up some of those quotes, and if anyone's profiting off the quotes, he believes it should be him. One insider alleged he even went so far as to consult a lawyer and ask if he could collect royalties off Janelle's t-shirts. He assumes they're only purchasing them because they recall him having said the stupid things, one insider quipped. Which ironically is sort of the entire thing. Once you're the punchline, you probably shouldn't ask for a percentage. Now, legally, it's unclear. Reality TV quotes usually belong to the network, not the folks on camera. But when the one getting ridiculed is the one attempting to take credit, it's more pride, less law. Can Kody really sue Janelle? Sure, though unlikely. It would be ugly. And likely not the comeback story he's dreaming of. Janelle, however, is not bothered in the least. She's doubling down, according to sources, reordering sold-out design, introducing new colors, and dropping hints at new quotes fans are already clamoring for. No regrets, no RV, no husband. Just a booming business and her peace of mind still in place. She left the emotional baggage behind and turned the entire experience into something strong. And with each click, each purchase, she shows again. The most underestimated wife may just be the wisest one of all. But while Janelle's building an empire, Christine's working on something a bit more personal. And just as strong, she's stacking up not just followers or fans but airline miles, media buzz, and pre-orders. Because her next move could be her most daring yet. A book, a reckoning, and maybe the truth we've all been waiting for. Christine Brown used to be the wife who smiled through the tension, always upbeat, even as the cracks in her marriage deepened. But that woman? She's long gone. In her own words, the camera shines a light. I understood that I've spent decades telling people, it's fine, even when I was drowning, even when I was furious and couldn't find the word. We're seeing a whole new Christine now, unfiltered, free, and according to Publishing Insider's, the cusp of bestseller status. Because this book, it's not storytelling. It's an outright emotional breakthrough. This isn't some easy memoir. It's raw, reflective, and from what we're hearing, absolutely honest. Christine's book is more than memories. It's a reckoning. And Kody? He might want to buckle up. The title of Christine's upcoming memoir, Sister Wives, has already raised some eyebrows. It mirrors the very name of the show that made the Brown family famous. But make no mistake, this is Christine's version of the story. And rumor has it, she's not holding back. This isn't just a book, it's her side of the story finally. According to early press buzz, Christine opens up about her polygamist upbringing, the complicated relationship with her mother, and what it was like to constantly say, "I'm fine," even when she wasn't. In one teased excerpt, she reflects on watching herself on the show, realizing just how many years she spent shrinking her voice, quieting her instincts, and letting Kody shape the emotional tone of the entire household. And that was before the marriage even ended. "It's fine, because that's what I've been trained to be. Fine, small, not a bother," she writes. "I come from a long line of women who said, 'It's fine,' but the show made me see it wasn't." For Christine, this isn't just about leaving Kody, it's about breaking generational silence. With her release date looming in September, Christine has been everywhere. She just finished another European getaway, this time, Germany. In between snapshots of castles and cobblestone streets, she flashed printed copies of her book, her smile radiant. The change in her energy? Night and day. This isn't the Christine who once smiled with tears, but this is a woman traveling first class while the past remains grounded. And the fans? They're all about it. Sources explain early pre-orders have been so good. Her publisher stretched the book tour. What began as a handful of appearances is now a full-fledged media tour. New York, New Jersey, Chicago, and Salt Lake City. And with each new city added, they're answering the same questions. Will she dish on names? Will she discuss Robin? What actually happened before she left? So far, Christine's interviews have been even more candid than before. If she goes into favoritism, control, and Kody's behind-the-scenes antics, this could be the most candid report to ever emerge from the franchise. Kody may be scripting his redemption special, but Christine already pressed publish. And just when you believe it can't get any more poetic, there's this. Insiders say Kody could soon be writing Christine a check every month. That's correct word is, there's a secret child support arrangement. After all these years of dodging responsibility, Kody may actually be paying. Nothing has been formally announced, no court records, no public filings, but sources close to the family indicate it's a behind-the-scenes deal to offer support to Truly, the couple's youngest child. And if that's the case, the irony is thick. Kody used to portray Christine as the one who abandoned the family. Now, he's allegedly the one paying monthly bills. The timing isn't missed by anyone. Christine's star is on the rise as she's independent, financially, emotionally grounded, and getting ready for the biggest moment in her public life. And quietly, off camera, she's receiving the help Kody never provided her on television. Fan boards flashed with the news. "He should have been paying years ago," one person commented. "It's not about money, it's about accountability," another said. Christine has not gloated or shaded anyone. She doesn't need to. Her peace, her joy, and her silence have spoken loud enough. She's moved on, and so can the world. Kody, however, is dealing with more than a monetary obligation. He's working on something even more difficult, the deconstruction of his public persona. He used to insist that he was the guardian. Today, he's the one signing the check. Kody spent years standing in front of the camera, assuring audiences he was keeping the family intact. But now, behind the scenes, he's accepting Christine as a full-time parent and reimbursing her. And this is where things could get more complicated for Robin. If Kody's cash is paying for Christine's home nowadays, that could translate to less coming into Robin's. Fans have begun speculating. Will we see fewer designer accessories in her house? Will Kody be spending less time zipping back and forth between homes? Or more dramatically, could this signal the end of the beginning of Robin and Kody's ideal bubble? Because what gets taken out of Kody's wallet might just get taken out of Robin's world next. One thing is certain. Christine, once accused by him of being disloyal, is stronger than ever financially, emotionally, and in public opinion. And while she's on the rise, Kody is footing the bills. But the most glaring segment? When Christine embarks on the road for her book tour, Kody won't be within earshot. Christine's tour is more than just a marketing spree. It's a celebration, a spotlight opportunity she's worked hard to win for herself. No Kody, no camera, only Christine and a crowd of people who think she is telling the truth. Major cities are already queued up. the response will be massive. And yet, one man's absence will say it all. No co-parent there with flowers, no words of encouragement posted online, only silence. And fans are already wondering the question Kody doesn't want to hear. Why did she have to leave in the first place? The contrast is stark. Christine's ascending in the light while Kody's retreating in the shadows. On one side of this tale, Christine's receiving flowers from publishers, lines of fans at events, and early reviews describing her memoir as raw, relatable, and deeply empowering. Have you ever had two? Nope, not interested in dabbling. This Justin Meri doesn't dabble. On the other side, Kody's social media has come to a standstill. No new ventures, no motivational rants, only the occasional hazy selfie with Robin and cryptic captions about patience and growth. But here's the catch: patience is not trending. Power is. And Christine? She's got more than enough of it currently. One is making tour bookings, the other is taking filtered sunsets. Guess who's controlling the narrative? One publishing insider even commented that they haven't noticed this level of buzz since the early Kardashian book deal. What's remarkable is that Christine is not trying to position herself as the victim. She's simply being honest. Fans identify with her and that candor is becoming real momentum. Bookstores are bracing for sold-out crowds. Major interviews are being arranged across national networks. Christine is not appearing just as a reality TV wife alumnus. She's turning into a voice for individuals still trapped in relationships that aren't good for them. But here's the ripple effect. Christine's ascent is pulling others along with her. Meri and Janelle's fans have skyrocketed since word of the memoir broke. Fans are watching reruns with new eyes, connecting the dots, and finally seeing just how long these women waited with their breaths held before they could finally exhale. It's not just one woman walking out anymore. It's the disintegration of an entire fantasy, and viewers are seeing every stitch unravel. Behind the scenes, there are whispers that Kody attempted to shop his own take on what happened to a number of networks, but not according to sources. The network was just not interested. They don't want him without the women, allegedly said one producer. He's not the draw anymore, and that could hurt Kody worse than anything Christine would pen in a book. While she's off hogging the headlines, his phone isn't ringing like it once did. But if Kody believes this is some fleeting speed bump, should buckle up. Because word is, the OG3 have one more surprise up their sleeve. If it's true, Kody's not only being pushed aside from the spotlight, but he's being cut out of the script completely. Christine, Meri, and Janelle, sources say, might be developing something big. No official word, but whispers are getting louder. Some believe it's a podcast. Others think there's a streaming deal in the works. Some even claim a spin-off show might be in the pipeline, unedited, unfiltered, and totally free of the TLC lens. One close source in production put it succinctly. They've realized their power, and now they're ready to use it. For years, they were supposed to smile while being betrayed. Now they're turning the table sand, penning their own. They've digested heartache, remained silent for the cameras, and shouldered the emotional burden of a marriage founded on inequality. No longer. They're not waiting for TLC to ask them back. They're building their own table and calling the shots themselves. Meanwhile, Kody's playing out of options. The network's moved on. The fans have moved on. Even his own family is moving forward while he's trying to turn the story back around to 2012. The Kody who once yapped on and on about loyalty and obedience is sitting back now and observing as the women he used to cut down are shining brighter than ever. This isn't a moment of small-time drama. It's a moment about something larger, a shift in culture. Christine, Janelle, Meri, their symbols know of healing, of rebirth, of women who said enough and meant it. And for the millions of people viewing at home, particularly those who have ever been silenced in their own lives, the OG3 are no longer reality television stars. They are heroes. And perhaps that is what frightens Kody the most. Because at some point, the narrative ceased to be about him. The spotlight didn't simply fade. It became a mirror. And what Kody looks at gazing back, it's not the tough, respected hero he thought he was. It's a man who undervalued what quiet strength actually looks like. And now he's sitting there helpless while the women he sought to control get to shine without him. So now we wait. Will the OG3 finally come out with their next big thing? Will Kody get that solo special he so badly wants? Or is that chapter already been written and just not in his pen? Now here's where you come in. Should Christine, Janelle, and Meri start a podcast or series independently of TLC? Would you tune in to a Kody-only special? Let us know what team you're on in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hang tight, because more tea is cooking every day. And next video on your screen? Trust us, you won't want to miss it.